Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai922. Wistoria. Oh boy. Okay, so Wistoria, Season 2, Episode 5. The Day of Departure. So, the events are immediately, more or less, followed after the huge battle from last episode. So, it's kind of a weird episode. Now, part of it is focused on Will. Excuse me. And everything else that had happened, basically. And the other half is basically the graduation of everything. Now, I have a quandary. It is in my belief. Now, I've never read the light novel or the manga or anything in between. But I truly believe the only people who knew what Will is, and when I mean what is, knew what his powers were, what he's capable of, was Finn and the headmistress of the academy, Caldron. So, Wagner, that Ed professor guy, they didn't know shit. I mean, Wagner might have known to a certain extent, but, you know, moving on. The episode pretty much starts with a flashback thing. It's a dream he's having with Rusty. Now, the rumor was... Now, I think it's still true. I still think this is true. Rusty... I saw something in my glasses. Anyway. Rusty was created by Delphi. That's what I heard. I don't have any information to back it up, but that's what I heard. Because this is the thing. We see Rusty in a few dream sequences with Will. One when he's on the floor, and basically the headmistress has to remove the white hair because his memories that came forward when he did the limit her off thing. And he's dreaming about Rusty. And then you see Finn creepingly takes his hand and like wipes the tear from Will's face. And basically in his dream he's seeing Rusty. So Rusty is a weird character because in the end of the episode he's saying, "I'll always be by your side, Will." And I'm like, I don't know if it's Elfie doing this or who, but that's basically the story. So he has this dream. The next time we see Will, he's in his room with nobody. Rusty's not there because he died. So it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, this is fucked up. This is really fucked up. But we get some interactions between Finn and God damn, I forgot this woman's name. Where the frick is her name? God damn. I'm so bad with names. I apologize, people. I apologize. I can find the name. I can tell you who I'm talking about. Where is she? The person I'm trying to find. Iris. So, this kind of weird interaction between Finn and Iris. Iris calls him something differently. And he says, "Oh, I told you don't call me that," and everything. And she tells him point blank to don't interfere with Will. Don't. And then he says he's going to take. Now, I personally believe the events happening in this episode, if things had gone differently, I truly believe that. Finn would have taken Will out of the academy into the dungeon trainer. That's what I really believe. Now, there's this altercation, and then later on, we basically have a weird exchange with Colette and that girl who uses thunder magic, and she puts the flowers of on the water, and we also then see Will when he's in the house having another dream about Rusty, and then they go off, and then we have the ceremony. Now, here's the thing about the ceremony. You saw the look on people's faces when this headmistress said, all the names for the people going to the tower, and it's really sad. Like, it's like, oh shit, we're fucking freaking Will's gonna be my upset. It's really sad because think about this. This is true. He has nobody. There's nobody there. Everybody was going to go to the tower. Rossi's dead. Who's this going to be with him? Nobody. Nobody. Oh, like random students who were left behind? I don't think so. But that's the whole point. Because, in my opinion, if it did go that way, most likely Finn would have took him. He would have took him. He would have took him and said, hey, I'm training you with swords. Let's get the hell out of here. or basically a whole full spangle of that. Because, as we all know, based on what has happened, Will's destiny in this series is to fight the celestial being that is behind the barrier. That's the whole bit. Now, Professor announces the names. There's one white hat remaining. Now, this is funny because you look at Ed and Wagner and they're like deer in headlights. Complete deer in headlights. And then she starts saying how people, who get all the credits, and then then there's that. And she says there's one person left who made a spell called courage. Now, the thing is this. Ed, I understand why he was doing what he was doing. Sort of like the same kind of thing with Snape in Harry Potter. He was trying to prevent him from going to the tower, prevent him from being not ostracized, but suffer in a way. Now, the mistress gives Ed the hand, saying, back off, bitch, when this happens. And then Colette's like, so, essentially, because he made a new spell, which was called Courage, which is basically his hair turning. And if you think about it, it'd be kind of fucked up if this didn't happen. He kind of saved the whole goddamn freaking city. Hello? So let's get this straight. You're going to allow him to stay in the academy and not graduate and not go to the tower? Why? Oh, wait. Didn't he save the whole goddamn fucking town? That kind of means something. So it would have been really, really bad if this didn't happen. But it did happen. And basically, he's going to the tower because he created his own spell. Now, like I said, we have this moment. Finn, he's okay with it. He lets him go. And then we basically have a moment with Wagner and Ed. And Wagner basically Ed saying, oh, he didn't want him to go through the same fate that he did. And then Wagner basically tells him he's going to be fine. He had a very scary teacher teaching him. So, essentially, he's going to the tower. Now, we see Rusty. He's not real. He was made by somebody. I'm guessing Elfie. But we then see Finn, and he's okay with allowing him to do this. And we realize that Coldner basically put a fast one on him here. Now, the old king also made an appearance. Magia Vander made appearances. And they were discussing about the tax and everything. when he was talking about Will, he said it in a way that now things are going into motion here because of what has been done by Finn. Because the fact of the matter is this: the enemy is attempting to do this, and they need to do something about it. And Finn realized this whole thing happened because he made a vow to get Will up to snuff. And that's how he get up to snuff. Basically, unseal his powers. So, now, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the clan he goes into is Thunder. Which kind of makes sense because if you've seen the guy who's in charge of the thunder of the you have the different magic, you have fire, ice, forest, well, leaves or trees or whatever you want to call that, and then you have thunder. The old king guy is light, but when you look at the guy who does thunder, he doesn't have a wand. He has a weapon. It is like an axe. So it makes kind of sense when you think about him being where he is and so on and so forth. But as far as the episode's concerned, I like what happened. I thought it was a whole big fucking troll moment, though, where we just go like, yo, bitch, step off, Ed. He's going to the tower. Step off. Really good episode. Really, it showed one side of Will's trauma and his desperate attempt to try to get to the tower, and losing Rosti, all that whole bag thing just culminated in the headmistress saying, guess what, pack up your bags, you're going to the freaking tower, because you created a spell, I gotta save the city. Kind of a big deal. But I give this a 9 out of 10. And this is episode 5. We still got, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What, 7 more episodes? Oh my god. And, I don't know what's ahead, but he's going to go to the tower, and he's going to learn and all this other stuff, and it's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. But I look forward to, as we go forward with this series, Wistoria, One Sword, Season 2. It kind of, I like the justification, the comeuppance, the basically, he gets his hard work paid off. It did. And it was good to see. But that's what I got for you guys. Bonkai 922. I'll catch you guys later.